Hey y'all, so as promised, we're gonna talk about the custody battle stuff. I mean, I've been kind of dreading talking about this just because I do care about all parties involved and I just don't want to say the wrong thing and step on toes or upset people. But the old savage me would have been like, everybody, because y'all trying to take my son and y'all didn't care about me and my feelings and my well-being, so why should I care about y'all? But the saved, sanctified, I care about those, even those that done me wrong. Serene is like, just feel bad for all parties involved, including me. But I'm sorry, y'all. I talk with my hands, whether my nails done or not. If you know me, you know me. I'll be like, so I'm sorry if it's a little distracting, but this is just me, and I'm not gonna change that about me unless the good Lord tell me to, because I got enough on my plate. Trying to stop doing this is just a lot to deal with. So anyway, y'all, so my oldest son is 17. His father is deceased, unfortunately. Hurts me to this day. It's been probably 16, 15, 16, 16 years since his dad left. It was around this time of the year, Christmas. Unfortunately, I'm just trying to breeze through that so I won't end up crying, because I know me. And it's also the season, and my mom died around this time, 2 or 3 days before he died, but not the same year, but you know what I mean. But anyway, so y'all, where do I start? So my son is now 17. Everyone tells me how good of a job I done with my son. You raised him so well. He's such a great young gentleman. And all of this is true. I don't dispute it. I don't argue it. I live with the boy for 17 years, so I know how he is. So I know how the boy is. I raised him. Yeah. Now, I was 18 years old when I birthed my son. And 18 years old is very young to sacrifice everything. And I sacrificed everything for this boy. Like, I was barely going outside. I was doing a little bar hopping and this and that, but just a little bit. You might see me once a week in the area I used to hang at. And that lasts to every bit of 2, 3 years. And like I said, that was very seldom. If I wasn't in those fruit periods, sporadic going out moments, no more than twice a week, and most of the time it wasn't even twice a week, because anyway, so at that very young tender age, I was always with my child. I sacrificed my happiness, me going outside, all of that for that boy, my son. So anyway, I was very mature. I was doing things that these 30-some-year-olds, I was with my child more than these 30-some, 40-some-year-olds. He really taught me to sit down and be a parent. This child didn't ask to be here. So, at that young age, I was and always been very much mature, even at the age of 36. I almost said 35. My birthday just passed last month. But anyway, so I dropped everything to raise my son. I raised him right. I made sure I was going to fight as hard as I can to get him in the right environment, to keep him away from the wrong environments as best I could, because I was living with my mom at first. So, yeah, and sometimes people will be living with us and this, that, and third. But anyway, as best I can do to my knowledge, to my financial availability or resource availability, to get him in the best environments, best schools. I fought this boy whole life. And then on top of that, my child had very bad asthma. In and out the hospital all the time. All the way up to he was like 12. Y'all, like, my life was a living hell with that alone, not including all the other stuff, financial problems, this and that, living with family living with me, and butting heads and all of that. I went through it, raising my child the whole time. My other kids should be very thankful that he came way before them, because I really been like mommy material, wifey material, whatever you want to call it, since like 18, raising my son. Like, I was not one of them deadbeat mamas. You see him 9 times 10, you gonna see me. The dad side, they used to come see him. I used to let them see him and stuff, and I ain't gonna even say. But somebody in my life said that was a mistake, and that's why I'm going through what I'm going through. But anyway, not saying that I feel like that, because I don't. I just wish things would have been different. But yeah, so I'm trying to see how I could say this without just demonizing the other people involved. Even though it is true facts, I would never make nothing up about them. But anyway, so my son's father, um oh my god, y'all, I'm trying to see, because this is a tricky topic. I don't care about letting you all know, because my truth is my truth. But then like I said, other parties involved, I want to be respectable as I can, but I do have to, let you all know some things. But let's say this. There was potential money involved when my son's father died, and it was a bit of a tug of war for all of that. And the people on his dad's side was upset because they wouldn't have had no authority over what he has. So once they found out they couldn't be over it because he has a living child, and whoever's the guardian of that, would be over whatever. Will not be over it, will be, the primary person involved. However, now let me say this, because it's some people on here know me. I'm not really receiving anything, okay? The money is to take care of him. It's very little, piquito, way less than you will get at a full-time minimum wage job. That's all that they have gave me up until this point. Very small, very small. Not even the size of people's social security. What's the other one called? SSI and link card checks is less than all that on a monthly basis. Okay, so the number is so little, you all will laugh. But anyway, but maybe he has something put up for when he's well grown. Let's just say that it's put up till he's well grown. Don't be looking at him when he's 18, 20, well grown. So anyway, so there's really no access really like that. But I was fought against for full access, and even if they would have got access, they wouldn't have got the control they thought they would, because it's put up till he's well grown. Hold on. My baby wanted me to put on her socks, so we had to pause it. So anyway, let's just say that I guess after probably a year or two after, the case or whatever, someone discovered that, okay, if I get guardianship of the kid, I can get guardianship of the money, not knowing that you're not going to really get anything. It's put up till he's well grown. But anyway, so y'all, I'm giving y'all too many details in my life, but let me just go ahead. But yeah, so that being said, when my son was about 3, 4 or something, DCFS was called on me. And then a couple of years later, it was called again. Both times, I did not lose my child because, truthfully, so they said we see nothing wrong. The child looks very well taken care of. Your residence is upkept. Food in the refrigerator, all the things they check for. No signs of a bruise or anything like that. No signs of malnutrition. No signs of beating on him or anything like that. So both times they said we have no reason to take your child. Each time I tried to find out who did it, because even people in my life that's in the home and all that, y'all see that I take very good care of my child. So who would call DCFS? I don't know. I have an auntie that every time someone argues with her, she says she's going to call DCFS. Yeah, but anyway, I ain't going to get all into that. But it wasn't her, because she never threatened me with that personally. So she'll do it just because, even if you do take well care of your kids. So I knew it wasn't her. She's been doing that for 20 years before I even had kids. But so her children, nieces, nephew, whoever, you want to smoke, you got it with her without even trying. But anyway, so long story short, never found out who did that, but I had an inkling of who did it, that side. But anyway, so fast forward to now. Let's fast forward to August. So August, I was displaced from my previous home due to carbon monoxide poisoning. leaking in the home. I'm not gonna stay there, continue killing myself or getting more ill and heart acting up worse and worse. Like, I'm not gonna stay there until me or one of my kids died. Like, so I left. Now, I left and I went to my sister's house. Took all of my kids. Come on, we over here. Now, I was technically homeless. So someone on his dad's side thought to take the opportunity to try to get my son, because this is a rare occasion. Not saying that I've never been homeless, but this is a very rare occasion with me. And I would have still had a roof over my head, my lease was still going on and everything. I would have had rent was still getting paid, everything, for those 2 months that I was homeless. I just couldn't stay in the residence because poison, my things were still there, being housed, all of that. And then like a month before I moved here. So anyway, y'all, I'm trying to shorten this video, condense this video, because it takes too long. The kids study interrupting. But anyway, so he made me forget where I was at. Well, where was I? Anyway, so the rare opportunity of me being homeless with my kids was taken. Oh, that's why I was saying, like a month before I moved here, I put my stuff in storage a month or two. Well, like a month, and then came here. So my son didn't want to be at my sister's house. He was allergic to the animals that was there. Hold on. So anyway, it was only one person from his dad's side that's been giving me tussle about, this situation. So that person, she seen the opportunity to extend an invitation for him to come and stay, because I didn't have, it was just spend the night at first. So, we were kind of getting into it. I don't know why, but we were clashing. We was doing so well, but we started clashing at my sister's house. Spiritual warfare or something, I don't know. But, and I do believe in discipline. So, I disciplined him, and then that other person, the person from his dad's side, was like, you can come here. And, I was kind of like, I didn't want to bash the boy head into the wall because he was getting out of hand. So, I let him go. Not saying that I didn't have control of the situation. I did. But I was going through a whole lot. Like, I was dealing with stuff in my health. Still, even though I was out of the home, the Carmen, my not at home, I still had heart-related issues. I was dealing with depression because the home I was in is spiritual, but it was some depressing stuff, spirit in there. And I got to check on my sister today speaking. So, yes, I was dealing with that. Plus, I was dealing with my 3 kids and dealing with just stuff that was going on in that building and the animals. And it was just, ugh. But anyway, it was just, I'm not saying like nasty or nothing, but it was just like, it was very Chicago. But anyway, dealing with the traffic, y'all, my cortisol levels was high. If you wondering why I gained weight, my cortisol levels went up the roof driving in Chicago. So you try to lose weight, get out Chicago. But anyway, so yeah, I'm dealing with that and some more, dealing with things with my kid's father and trying to move. One of those by itself is a lot. So all of that and some more, y'all don't even know. So, I said he can go. He can go spend the night. And, a weekend turn, he came back. Another weekend, he didn't want to come back. So that turned into a week. And then there was some resistance trying to get him back 2 weeks. And then, me and that person was arguing over my son. Like, this is my child. No, I'm not okay with it. Da, da, da. And then, I eventually was over it. So I'm like, I hear you, but never agreed. Was like, okay, I hear you. 2 weeks turned to 3 weeks turned to 4. And right around 4 or 6 weeks, I got my place that I'm currently in. Please excuse, I'm still decorating everything everywhere. So, I already knew at this point, because the conversation I was having with the person, that she wanted my son and that it was not going to come easy. And I don't want to say brainwashed, manipulated, or none of that, because I just want to be careful with my words. But he's comfortable there. I almost said the name. That person takes good care of him. I will say that. So, I'm glad it's someone that seems to love him. I hope she loved him for him and not for what's attached to him or what could be gained from, being close to him, but it seems she loved him. She been there since he been born. So she loves him, and it's all she have left from her son, because he don't have any more kids that we know of. So he looks just like the boy. So that could be part of the reason why she want to hold on to him. I don't know. So when I think about that, that's why I am a little sensitive about this, because I just suppose who I was talking about. But anyway, I do have sensitivity with her and her situation with her child. So anyway, so, that's going on. He's comfortable there. Like I said, I do believe he's well taken care of there. He's clean. She stay on top of him and everything. And there's no abuse or starvation or anything like that. If it was starvation going on, I'm one call away. He can call me. I can send food, money, whatever. So, so I just let it be. I'm tired of fighting. I keep asking my son, like, do you want to come home? And, this doesn't exactly feel like home, because he hasn't lived here, like lived since I've been here. So he's been over there, with his dad's side. So, I'm not going to argue no more, and he's not getting into trouble. I have his location, and I check it an unhealthy amount of times per day to see where he's at, because as a mother, I'm concerned. He still asks me when he want to go out with his friends. Sometimes when he want to stay after school, he'll ask. Yeah, he, like I said, he's a good kid to this day. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you to me, secondary, because I did that when it came to raising him and keeping him out of certain environments, and just what I fed his spirit, his soul. God first. That's what I fed him with, church, all that. And I fed him with positivity. Not saying that he don't got no negativity, but uplift your kids. Let me just say that. So, he's doing well, and someone from my church told me to just let it go. He's about to be a man. He's about to go to college anyway. He about to go away to college anyway in September next year. But it's just so hard to let go, because he's 17. I raised him from a baby. Was that every step of the way. Wasn't partying, wasn't vacation, wasn't away from my child all the time. Was at home with my child almost every day. And this how you do me. But anyway, so it was kind of hard to let go. Even with college, it was gonna be hard to let go. But she wasn't ready. She was not ready. I was not ready to let my son go 6 months before he goes off to college. I was not ready. So, at first I was ready to box. I wasn't gonna fight nobody. I'm just saying, like, you man enough to box, but I wasn't gonna box nobody involved. I love the woman. I love her a lot, and I hope if she see this, she don't hate me or her children or anyone else who sees it, because I do love her. And I guess her intentions as well. She said, now let me not just leave out her part. She says she's doing it just to make sure he gets back and forth to school, because I was doing it, but it was like probably 2 times before he went with her that he was late for school, because I had to get him to school, and my other 2 to school, and my kid's school was 30 minutes or something from where I was residing. His was 20 minutes this way, 30 minutes that. It was a lot. So, she said she's doing it to help. She haven't asked me for a dime. She Ubers him to school and back every day. So, in a sense, it is kind of helping me, because if he was here, I would have to drive 20 minutes to meet the bus, because it only goes so far, to take him to, he's in private schooling, to take him to school, then 20 minutes on the way back. But I'm willing to do all that to have my child here in our home. But it is what it is. I'm just gonna pray. I'm gonna continue to be involved with him. I just took him home. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So he was here for 5 days, of his break, but he has family over there. So, I just took him back so he can go spend time with them. He has a cousin that's going back to college, and, he's up here for the break. Two cousins. So, I wanted him to spend time with them. So, anyway, y'all, that is what's going on. But I'm no longer stressing it. I'm giving it to God, putting it in God's hands. And, yeah, so you could say I lost custody. You can say I lost custody. I don't know, but my son is not residing day to day at my home, and it bothers me. But I'm okay. I'm okay. By the good grace of God, I'm okay. You know, I felt betrayed at first because I did all this hard work raising my child in and out the hospital. Couldn't even get a job because I'm in the hospital all the time. It was to the point where I was like, well, let me just get a job at the local hospital so you know somebody can I can just bring them in while I come to work because that's how much I was in hospital. And yeah, so you know that's why you put your trust and your faith and everything. Don't put it in your kids. Don't put it in your husband. Put it in God because men, meaning human beings, will let you down every time. But I'm not gonna even say it's a letdown. Anyway, so that is what's going on. And like I said, I'm okay. He's okay. He's healthy. He's flourishing. The boy is just full of good energy. Like he's so fun. He's so much energy. Like it's so quiet now that he's back over there. No, I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna fight these tears. We're not gonna let it out. But yeah, he's back at his home, I guess. And you know, it's a little quieter, it's a little blander. We miss me and his siblings, miss him, but you know, he's still amongst the land of the living. Glory be to God. So that's why we ain't gonna let this tear come out. But yeah, so everything is fine. Everything is fine. I don't know what I'm gonna do with his room. I'm thinking about giving it to, I don't know, making it, letting my other kids be in there because I hate walking past that room and he's not in there, no one's in there. So we may decorate it for one of my other kids or something and let them be in there because yeah. But he's still gonna have the room, but I'll just let them occupy it while he's over there and away at college or whatever. So I pay a lot of money for that extra room. But anyway, so that is what's going on. And yeah, that's it, y'all. I went way too far and this took so long. But anyway, he's flourishing. Everything is fine and I am going to be okay. And yeah, that's what's going on. Legally, so if I wanted to, I can probably march over there and get my child because I'm the custodian. I am the primary parent, but you know, if he wants to stay there because he's comfortable or and all of that, I'm gonna let him stay. I just don't want to fight that battle right now. I'm fighting enough battles, and I don't want to have to fight against her, fight against my son. No, I want to be over there and da 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 da. And you know, because they're gonna constantly be in his ear, and I'm more of a passive person, and you know, they're more of a, I don't want to say aggressive. They're more of a, I don't know what word to use, y'all, without being offensive. And it's not an offensive thing. She's just more vocal, more of a vocal person. So, you know, she might have more of an effect on him than me. So, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, I don't know where to go. I do know where to go from here. But anyway, so, you know, got 3 other kids to take care of. So, I'm just going to proceed with life. So, that is about it, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Be blessed. I don't know if I'm going to put this in the vlog or if I'm going to just make this an entirely separate video. But yeah. So that is about it. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment anything you want to say. Please keep it respectable. And don't diss the other people involved. I mean, you can say something, you can say whatever nicely, but just don't get too crazy, please, because I don't know if they're watching or not. And like I said, I don't want to demonize them. I'm only stating facts, but you know, they love the boy like I do. And like I said, he's so full of energy. He's so fun and happy-go-lucky-go. I couldn't knock them for wanting to be around him all the time. He's a fun time. He's just a fun kid. But yeah, so see you all in the next one.